So we have just passed the mark of 6 months full-time in this truck camper, boondocking. We stayed at campgrounds probably maybe like 4 different nights we actually paid to stay at in that 6 month period at actual like campgrounds. So today's video for our 6 month anniversary of boondocking, I want to make a video of the pros and cons, in my opinion, of boondocking 100% full time. So I will start with the cons so we finish on a positive note, because I think in general, like, I love it. There's no way, like, for all the negative things, which isn't that much, I would ever stop doing what I'm doing until we've saved as much money as we need to buy our land and build an earthship and do all that. Alma, he doesn't want to get hit with that, babe. Okay, you can bang on it like a drum, though. Alright. So here we go. So cons. The first one, you are always on the move. During an average day, we'll go from, waking up, then going somewhere else, like after we've had breakfast or are all dressed and ready for the day. And then, we might go to like 2 or 3 different places during a day, like different parks or hitting the gym, because my husband does jujitsu at a gym, or else visiting family, grocery shopping, like a grocery shopping day, like a payday when we like try to get all that done, and going to the bank. Then there's even more stops than just 2 or 3. But you're basically always moving. Like, I remember when we lived in our house, I would go days or even weeks without even getting in a vehicle, because I'd ride my bike to go get groceries, or you just don't have a need to go anywhere. My husband will just drive to work and come back home, but I've been with Alma the whole time, and if we don't need any food or don't need anything in specific, I remember like days or even weeks where I wouldn't even get in a car. But every day we're always getting into our truck, going somewhere different, always moving, because you can't just stay in one spot. The laws are like, usually it's like you can't park anywhere like in a street for more than 48 hours or else you'll get towed. A lot of different stuff like that. So you are definitely always on the move. So if you're considering boondocking, just remember that. And it makes it even harder when you have a baby, because sleep can get complicated. Because like if my husband has to work in the morning, he usually works nights, but if he has to work in the morning, we all need to go with you can sit there? We all need to go with to drop him off. So it would cut into our sleep, like if he had to work at 6 or 7 in the morning. Or if he works at night, we kind of have to wait to put her to bed and everybody go to bed until we get to work, which could be 10 or 11 o'clock. So it's definitely not like the strict schedule like every other American has with a kid, where they're like, in bed by 8, pajamas, brush your teeth, in bed by 8, wake up at, 7, 8, 9 in the morning or whatever they do. We still get a decent amount of sleep, but we have to remember that we have to schedule it around work and other things that go along with it. And nap time during the day can be hard, because we'll have it all planned out and something might come up where we need to move or go somewhere different, and she might not get her nap in, or else she'll get a lot of naps in while we're actually driving. And sometimes I like to take a nap when she naps too, so if we were on our way to go somewhere and she's falling asleep in her car seat, then I kind of miss out on a nap too, and it's just something you got to deal with that comes with this kind of a lifestyle. But we're definitely not losing out on much sleep. It's just you got to remember things and schedule things a little different, and you might go to bed later than you want and hopefully sleep in later, or sometimes you might have to wake up early than you'd want. Another thing is, since we're kind of active and we like to, do a lot of outdoor stuff, and we like to bike, and we do have a stroller. No, get down. We have a stroller for if we're going to go on a run or something. So those things are with you 100% of the time. And this winter we might store them somewhere, like ask a family member if we can keep. We have 3 bikes, and we have a stroller. We have a tiny little baby bike that's like this big that she kind of just pushes around. She doesn't really use yet. But those things are with us 100% of the time, so it kind of makes it a hassle. The stroller is in the cab of our truck on one side by the car seat, and so it takes up a whole seat. So if we were going to like carpool and have someone drive with us somewhere, we only really have one extra seat in our truck because we have all our stuff right there. And then the bikes are on the back, but we have this nice hitch. I should do a hitch, is it called? Bike rack. Yeah, in our hitch. It plugs into the hitch. I should do a video on that because we had one before that was a horrible rack and we lost a bike on it and my new bike fell off and all this stuff. But so yeah, be prepared. You need to get like the best, you need to keep your stuff maintenance and you need to get the best products so that you don't like lose a bike or damage stuff. It's called I think it's a Yakima or a Yakima or something like that. I'll do a video on that because it's a really good bike rack and we haven't had any problems with this one. And it plugs into your hitch, and since we enter our truck camper from the back door, the stairs flip down so we can walk up, and it makes it a lot easier like carrying a baby. And I mean sometimes if we're in a hurry I'll just jump up, but most of the time if we're going to settle somewhere for like hours, we need to put the steps down so it's easier to get in and out. And this bike rack has a mechanism where it, I don't know, it's like plugged in, but then it kind of swings out of the way. So that makes it easier because then we can fold the steps down. Otherwise, if it didn't, that wouldn't work that way. Another thing, another con is depending on where you go, you could get knocks on your door or getting kicked out of certain spots you're in. It's only happened to us once. We try to play it really safe and go look online and go to places that are allowed. But once we were in Florida, and we actually did look online on the Walmart site, and it said that you were allowed to park there. And I know a lot of people are like, blah, 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 you should always go in and ask and all this, but it was late and we were driving around, and we finally found somewhere to park, and that's what we did. We got a knock on our door at 2 in the morning, and it was 2 associates that worked there saying, hey, you can't park here. It's not legal. We don't allow any of like the snowbirds to park here, because it was like a tourist kind of spot in Sarasota, Florida. But they said, oh, well, we'll let you stay here till 6 a.m. So we had to leave right at 6 so we wouldn't get in any other trouble or whatever. But depending on where you go, I mean, I've heard horror stories where there's, you know, cops knocking on their doors, or even like other people like just messing with them, like knocking on their doors, trying to trash their car, or key their van, or just weird stuff just because they think you're like a dirty hippie or something, and they're jealous, or they're just, I don't even get it, or they know you're homeless and they have some weird vibe against you. I don't know. Stuff like that. So that could be a con if you're always getting messed with, like people not wanting you to park in certain areas. Like even we go to this county park. It's a park you have to pay $5 for a day pass to get in, but we paid $25 and you get a whole annual pass so you can go whenever you want. And we've still had like a cop come up to us a couple times and be like, hey, how late are you staying? You know, you can't stay overnight here. They do have a campground, but they don't allow pets, so we just go there during the day and we leave no later than 8 or 9 o'clock sometimes, but we're usually out way earlier than that. They're just being, you know, nosy. Hey, how long are you going to be here? It's like, dude, we're not planning on staying the night, don't worry. So stuff like that kind of bothers me. Another con is everywhere we go, we have to do our best to keep this place neat, because always just packing up before we drive, otherwise stuff will fall on the floor. I've had melons where I think they're safe and I'll set them on this twin bed right here and, you know, put a bunch of blankets around them and pillows and make sure like they're not going to roll off, and they still end up rolling off. There's probably been like 3 different times where we've had like watermelon just smashed and juice all over the floor, all sticky. But that's probably my own ignorance. We haven't bought melons in a while now. Been eating way cheap, so we haven't had to deal with that. But otherwise, the fridge too, like if you got like a glass jar in there, like I've made like watermelon juice even and put it in a jar. Like sometimes you'll get all jumbled up driving, you'll go to open the fridge and it just like falls out onto the floor and breaks everywhere. So those are some negatives. But yeah, just always keep it organized, put everything back when you're done with it. If you can see behind me, I put up some pictures on the wall, like Alma, like when she was a day old, and that one's when she was like an hour old. But the way I put those up there, they are framed and there's glass and everything in there. But I have this really nice Velcro that I put around the back on like all the sides and edges of it, and then just stick it on the wall. So Velcro's really awesome for campers, like anything you'd want to hang up or stick to anything, or like the little hooks for like their little 3M hooks, you can get them at Walmart or whatever, those work too. Another negative is I think is propane. The summer, everything's fine with propane. Like, we only use it in the summer for maybe a little bit of the water heater, but we usually take cold showers since it's so hot. But otherwise, cooking and the fridge run on propane. But in the wintertime, it's really expensive. So I don't know, if I could do it again, I'm hoping this winter maybe we'll go find somewhere that we could plug into and use electric, unless we just tough it out and do propane. But it does get expensive. If it's like negative, like below zero for like several like weeks on end, if it's like that kind of negative weather, we'll end up having to fill them every like 2-3 days, and then it's gonna be like $15 to $20 for each tank each time. So we're blowing like $30 to $40 every few days just to fill them, and it gets expensive. So that's a negative. If I had my way, I'd live somewhere where it's warm all year and I don't have to worry about that. But that doesn't work out, because we're still looking for jobs and trying to, you know, get that kind of thing going on. But not yet, but we're doing fine up here. Now, I think that's all I have for the... What? You want to come up here? Okay. There is one more negative that's kind of a negative, is we run off of solar 100% of the time, unless our battery isn't fully charged after a day. If it's like a cloudy day and we need to, you know, get through the night and watch some movies or something, or have a fan on, we might plug in the generator to get by. But always having to keep an eye on like the charge, otherwise, you know, you can't do certain things. You know, keep the fan off, don't watch TV, just go to bed, stuff like that. But yeah, you always got to keep an eye on the monitor, because you don't want your batteries to die. And now we'll skip to the pros. So my favorite pro is saving more money, because saving more money is a lot easier boondocking, because you don't have lot rent to pay, you don't have water bills or electric bills to pay. I mean, usually that's rolled into the lot rent, but sometimes during the winter here, they'll make you pay electric, because they know you're going to be running those electric heaters in your campers and stuff. No cable bills or anything like that. But we do have like contact through the internet. We'll use Wi-Fi a lot. Otherwise, my husband has a little data plan on his phone, and we can actually plug it into our TV so we can still watch Netflix and stuff. We have this cord. I'll show you it. It's if you can see it, this cord right here, it's a HDMI on this end, and it also allows your phone to charge, and your phone plugs into your TV on this end with an iPhone, you know, cord, and then it just plugs into iPhone like that. I don't know if they have them for other types of phones, but we found this at our Best Buy around here, and it works great, and we love it. I think it was like, I don't know, $60, or it could have been $80, but it's a really good thing if you want to be able to plug your phone and watch YouTube or Netflix like on your TV through stuff like that. Another pro is you get to travel more and explore more. So if we were just like stuck at a campground somewhere, you know, I know for sure I wouldn't be going to as many beaches and not national parks, but like state parks or county parks. I just wouldn't be doing a lot of that. I'd probably just like leave from my house and go on walks or runs or bike rides. So I feel like we get to explore more, because we'll get to drive, and then wherever we drive to, then take your bikes off and go on a bike ride, versus going on the same little bike rides around your neighborhood that you're stationary in. So that's a lot of fun. And I've actually been getting into a lot of foraging, which is fun, because I feel like this is the best month for it, August. It's like all the berries are great, and I'm finding like they're either grapes or like wild blueberries, but they kind of look like a tiny blueberry. Those are really good. We find some of those. So that's fun to do, and you can, you know, travel around and find like the berries wherever you are on different hiking trails. That's a lot of fun. And then Alma will like eat them all, so I never really get to bring much home, but whatever, it's good for her. Oh, another thing, a funny thing is, wherever we are, like, we'll go to like parties or weddings or just anywhere, you know, we have our whole house with us. You never forget anything at home. You'll never be like, you never go to a birthday party and be like, oh crap, did we grab the present? Because everything's always with you. You'll never have to worry about ever forgetting anything. It's so convenient. You always have a full kitchen with you. If you're somewhere like kind of like a stressful event where it's like, you know, a party, and we're vegan, so like not everybody has food that, you know, at certain parties or get-togethers that we can eat. We always have our house right outside, you know, in the parking lot, so we could quick whip up something to eat, cook something up. Our bathroom's always with us, so if we're on a long road trip and there's no exits coming up, or not really exits, but if there's no like gas stations off the exits or rest stops where you can go to the bathroom, just pull over or pull off and hop in back and go to the bathroom real quick. I mean, it's not that necessary. You could always just pull off and go on the ground too. We've done that, but yeah, just so convenient always having your house with you, and I love that aspect of it because, yeah, mainly the food thing. I love how I can always just grab any kind of food and make it real quick. I think those are all I have for pros and cons. There's probably other things I'm forgetting. I should have... Thank you. I should have asked my husband what he would have thought or what he would have said. But we're loving it. I'm going to keep doing it. We're going to keep doing this until we have the money saved that we need to buy land and build an earthship. But there's definitely a lot more we need to learn about that. But so to wrap this long video up, that'll be everything. 6 months full-time boondocking, and thanks for watching this. Like and share. Ask me any questions. Hopefully I can help you out. Okay, see ya.